Simplicity is not just a state, but a way of life. Terri Guillemets. Slow down your steps. Let go of the unnecessary layers we've unwittingly draped over ourselves through the years. Simplicity here is not about deprivation or abandonment, but a conscious choice, like tidying a room to let the light flood in more easily. When people learn to simplify their complex desires, the mind becomes clear, like a lake after the rain, reflecting the sky in the most honest way. A simple lifestyle carries the beauty of a gentle river, not noisy, not ostentatious, but steadily flowing through time, nurturing the lush banks on both sides. It teaches us to cherish small joys. A quiet morning, a warm cup of tea, or a sincere conversation, as if they were sparkling pebbles on the path of life. In that simplicity, people rediscover themselves without being swept into the whirlwind of comparison and competition. The lesson of dialogue lies not in the words, but in the serene feeling it leaves behind, a quiet fulfillment, where we realize that happiness doesn't need too many colors, just the right shade of the soul. No matter how hard you work, there will always be others working harder than you. Elon Musk, The Value of Personal Effort, gently placing people in their rightful position amid the vast flow of life. In this world, where each person carries their own dreams and aspirations, hard work is not the privilege of any individual, but a flame ignited in countless hearts. Understanding that, we stop viewing others' efforts with envy, but with respect and a willingness to learn. Life does not operate on absolute fairness. Some start earlier, some walk faster, some endure longer on the long roads. But the important thing is not who does more than whom, but whether we are true to ourselves. Others' hard work does not overshadow the value of our efforts. On the contrary, it reminds us that striving is not to surpass everyone, but to not fall short of our best self from yesterday. We work not to race in an invisible competition, but to gradually build competence, character, and meaning for our own lives. Like a mountain climber, no need to look back to see who's going faster. Just ensure each step is steady and in the right direction. In that understanding, we find lasting motivation and a sense of peace. Effort is a personal journey, and its value lies in the growth we achieve along the way. Mindset is the only thing we can control in life. If you control your mindset, you will control everything else. Tony Robbins. Life inherently doesn't follow anyone's wishes. Circumstances change, people change, success and failure come and go like tides. Yet, amid countless uncertainties, mindset remains the only ground we truly own. Like the helm of a boat, we can't control the wind or waves, but we can choose how to steer to avoid being sunk. When people understand that mindset is the core foundation, they begin to view everything with clearer eyes. Difficulties are no longer just obstacles, but become lessons. Failure is no longer the end, but a necessary turn. A positive thought can turn pressure into motivation, fear into courage, like changing a lens to make the passing light warmer. Conversely, if mindset drifts with anxiety and negativity, even the best things can become burdens. Controlling mindset doesn't mean denying emotions or forcing constant strength, but learning to observe, choose, and consciously guide the flow of thoughts. It's the calmness of someone who pauses before reacting. The resilience of someone who knows their self-worth doesn't depend entirely on external circumstances. When mindset is forged strong, people gradually sense a quiet power. No matter how chaotic the world outside, within them exists a peaceful space to rely on. And from that mastery of the inner self, every other aspect of life, actions, decisions, emotions, gradually falls into order, harmony, and meaning. Successful people have a different mindset. They don't just think about what they can do, but also about what they can learn. John C. Maxwell. Success, in that view, is not a fixed destination or a title to possess, but a continuous journey of learning. Successful people don't confine themselves to the boundaries of their current abilities. They understand that what they don't know is just as important, if not more, than what they do know. It's that curiosity and thirst for learning that creates a subtle but lasting gap between them and the majority. Their mindset is like a plot of land, always ready to be cultivated. Every experience, whether brilliant success or bitter failure, is seen as a seed carrying a lesson. Instead of asking, "What can I do to win?" they ask themselves, "What can I learn from this situation?" Constantly expanding their horizons, like a boat that not only seeks a safe harbor, but also learns to read the wind and understand the waves to go farther. When facing obstacles, they don't stop at feeling helpless, but listen to the hidden message behind the difficulty, turning stumbles into steps for growth. What makes this mindset powerful is its humility and flexibility. Successful people understand that knowledge isn't something hoarded once for a lifetime, but a stream that must always be refreshed. They are willing to learn from others, from circumstances, even from their own mistakes, with an open and serene attitude. Thus, they aren't limited by the fear of lacking ability, but are supported by the belief that ability can be honed and expanded over time. Success isn't reserved for those who are the best from the start, but for those who never stop learning throughout the journey. When people shift focus from how much can I do to how much can I learn, they will realize that every passing day brings value. And in that ceaseless process of learning, success naturally forms in a solid and enduring way. If you are going through hell, keep going. Winston Churchill. In life, everyone has moments when they must pass through the darkest phases, where hope is as fragile as a thread, and each step feels heavy. Hell here is not just physical suffering, but also inner turmoil, failures, losses, or the feeling of being lost that makes us doubt ourselves. Keep going. It doesn't advise us to be strong in a loud way, nor does it force us to win immediately. Simply, don't stop, because stopping in the middle of hell means accepting to stay forever in that darkness. Keep going, even if slow or weary, is the most silent yet resolute act of resistance. Like someone walking through a long night, they don't need to see the dawn clearly. Just believe that if they keep stepping, the light will appear sooner or later. It doesn't promise that the path will get easier, but affirms that endurance has meaning when tied to movement. Each step in pain is a step away from suffering, even if the distance is small at first. It's that perseverance that forges human inner strength, turning pain into experience, wounds into marks of maturity. You are not wrong for suffering, and you are not weak for feeling tired. The important thing is that you keep going. And as long as you keep stepping, hell will eventually become a path already traversed, not a place you belong to.